In the quiet hills, a small town far from any city, where rivers whispered secrets and animals roamed free, lived a loyal dog named Max. He was a border collie, known for his sharp mind and boundless energy. His owner, a farmer named Jack, often joked that Max had more spirit than all the sheep on the ranch combined. One morning, as the sky was painted with soft pink hues and the air carried the scent of rain-soaked earth, Max bounded along the creek behind the farm. The river, swollen from days of heavy spring showers, roared louder than usual. Its muddy waters twisted and turned, carrying branches and debris in its powerful flow. Max paused mid-step when he heard a faint sound, a cry so desperate it cut through the noise of the rushing water like a knife. His ears perked up, and his eyes scanned the distance. Through the misty haze, downstream about 50 yards away, something was struggling in the current. His heart raced as he sprinted closer. What he saw made his breath catch. There, caught in the swirling chaos of creek, was a young foal, no more than 2 months old. The little horse's silver-gray coat barely showed above the muddy water, and its dark eyes were wide with fear. It kicked desperately, but the current was too strong, pulling it under again and again. Max barked loudly, hoping someone nearby would hear him, but the wilderness remained silent. There was no one to help, just him and the foal, whose name would later be Sky. The river was moving fast, too dangerous to wade into directly, but Max wasn't about to give up. He looked around and spotted a fallen tree upstream, its massive trunk stretching halfway across the creek. If he could get onto that tree, maybe he could reach the foal without being swept away. Without hesitation, Max ran toward the tree, leaped onto its slick bark, and carefully made his way out over the raging water. The wind howled around him, and the tree swayed dangerously beneath his paws, but he pressed forward. As the foal drifted closer, Max knew this was his only chance. With a deep breath, he jumped into the icy water. The cold hit him like a wall, soaking through his fur and sending shivers down his spine. But he pushed through the shock, swimming hard toward the drowning foal. Sky was barely conscious now, floating lifelessly in the current. Max reached him just in time. Using his nose and body, he tried to guide Sky toward the shore, but the little horse was too weak to respond. Max adjusted his approach. He positioned himself behind Sky and began pushing with all his strength. It was exhausting work. Sky weighed nearly 10 times what Max did, and every movement felt like a battle against the river itself. Still, Max didn't stop. He nudged, he pushed, he pulled, inch by painful inch. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Max felt solid ground beneath his paws. With a final burst of effort, he dragged Sky onto a small gravel beach and collapsed beside him. Sky lay motionless, his chest rising and falling in shallow, uneven breaths. Water streamed from his nose, and his eyes remained closed. For a moment, Max feared he'd been too late. But then instinct kicked in. Max licked Sky's face, clearing the water from his airways. He curled close to the foal, sharing his warmth, willing Sky to wake up. And slowly, miraculously, Sky opened his eyes. They were tired, confused, but alive. Sky tried to stand, but his legs gave out immediately. He was too weak. Max stayed close, keeping watch while Sky rested. Hours passed. The sun climbed higher, and still there was no sign of help. Then came the distant sound of wolves howling. Max's ears shot up. Danger was approaching. He barked urgently, hoping someone would hear him, but the wilderness stayed empty. Sky stirred, letting out a soft whimper, not of fear but of hope. He called out, not knowing if anyone would answer. To both their surprise, they got one. From the ridge above them, a horse's call echoed back. Sky lifted his head, his eyes lighting up. That was his herd. Max barked even louder, signaling their location. Soon, hoofbeats thundered through the trees, and horses of all colors appeared, galloping toward the creek. The first to arrive was a golden mare. Sky's mother rose. Her eyes were filled with worry until she saw her foal safe on the gravel. But confusion followed quickly. A dog? Near her baby? Rose approached cautiously, muscles tense, ready to defend. Behind her, the rest of the herd arrived, watching closely. Max backed away slowly, lowering his head in a gesture of peace. He had saved Sky, but now he had to prove he meant no harm. Sky, sensing his mother's unease, let out a soft whinny, not of fear but of gratitude. Then he turned and nuzzled Rose, trying to show her that Max was a friend. Rose sniffed Max carefully, and in his scent, she found the truth: water, exhaustion, and her foal's smell clinging to the dog's fur. She understood. This dog had risked everything for her son. Her expression softened. She stepped forward and gently touched her nose to Max's head. One by one, the other horses did the same. Even the stallion, Thunder, who led the herd, bowed his head in respect. Max had done the impossible. He had earned the trust of wild horses. But their ordeal wasn't over. Night fell quickly, bringing with it the chilling howls of wolves drawing closer. Sky was still too weak to travel, and the herd couldn't run. Max lay beside Sky once more, offering his warmth and protection. Around them, the horses formed a circle, standing guard. When the wolves finally arrived, circling the beach like shadows in night, Max rose to his feet. He barked, not playfully, but fiercely, like a warrior defending his pack. Thunder joined him, rearing up and stomping the ground. The horses stood tall, ready to fight. The alpha wolf lunged for Sky, but Max intercepted him, tackling the predator with a force that surprised even himself. The battle was brutal. Teeth clashed, hooves struck, and the night rang with the sounds of survival. Max fought with every ounce of courage he had, protecting the foal who had become like family. When the alpha tried to circle around, Max chased him down, refusing to let him near Sky. With Thunder's help, the wolf was driven off, and soon the entire pack retreated into the darkness. But victory came at a cost. Max collapsed, blood staining his black and white fur. He had given everything to protect Sky. Rose rushed to his side, tears in her eyes. She licked his wounds clean, pressing her warm body against his. The others gathered around, forming a protective circle. They owed him their lives. 3 days later, a helicopter landed nearby. Jack and a vet team arrived, stunned by what they saw: wild Mustangs caring for a wounded dog, with Sky refusing to leave Max's side. Max was flown to a hospital, where he spent weeks recovering. Meanwhile, the herd slowly migrated toward Jack's ranch, waiting patiently for their hero to return. When Max finally came home, carried weakly to the fence, Sky greeted him with joyful whinnies and gentle nudges. Their reunion brought tears to everyone watching. Over time, an amazing bond formed between the ranch, the horses, and Max. Sky grew into a strong stallion, often helping Max with the cattle. Together, they became legends in the region. Wildlife experts studied their relationship, calling it one of the most unique friendships ever recorded. Years passed, and even as Sky started his own family, he never forgot Max. He brought his own foals to meet the dog who had saved his life. And every evening, as the sun dipped below the hills, Max and Sky would stand together by the creek, the place where their journey began. Two unlikely friends, bound by courage, sacrifice, and a love that defied every boundary. Moral: true bravery is not about size or strength. It's about choosing to act when someone else needs you, no matter the cost. If this story moved your heart, please consider subscribing for more incredible tales of friendship, courage, and the unexpected bonds that connect us all. Drop a comment below. What would you do if you saw an animal in danger? Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss another story that proves love knows no limits. Now go out there and be someone's hero. You never know whose life you might change.